I go back now to the story on the senior center vandalized in Wolcott. 2 teenagers will face charges, including burglary, larceny, and arson. This incident is adding to an already heated debate over stricter punishment for juveniles. And joining us live to talk about that is attorney Ryan McGuigan. Long time no see. Thank you so much for being with us.
Hey, Aaron. Good to see you.
Good to see you as well. Looking at that video out of Wolcott, it really is just absolutely devastating and horrific. It really makes you angry to see what they did. Broken windows, flour on the floor, etc., putting people in danger. There's also a lot of talk about all of the car thefts happening in communities all across the state. What is your take on punishments for teenage criminals?
Well, our juvenile system does not punish criminals. It doesn't punish juveniles. The nature of the system in and of itself is to rehabilitate delinquent youths. And so the system isn't made for punishing kids who are violent criminals. So the question is really whether or not these particular crimes are properly adjudicated in juvenile court. And that really isn't a legal question. That's a political question that you heard from the mayor of Wolcott talking about.
Some local police departments posted on social media today that current juvenile laws provide only probation for kids committing crimes. What do you think needs to change here?
Well, I mean, that's not necessarily true. I mean, there is it's not incarceration, but detainment for some delinquent youths. It is, however, more difficult. The juvenile laws have been changed over the past 10 years, and over the past year, there has been some fairly significant changes to our juvenile laws. And so what some people would be questioning is the determination of whether or not a juvenile poses a risk to the community. The law states that a judge has to find that there's probable cause for the crime, but then that there's probable cause that the child or the juvenile is a risk to the community. And then there's an additional finding that has to be made that the juvenile system does not have any less restrictive means to manage that delinquent child. And because the entire system is based around rehabilitation, well, of course they're going to find that they have some program for these youths, because that's exactly what they do. They don't punish, they rehabilitate.
Well, it is certainly a complicated and controversial topic that no doubt we are going to be talking about for quite some time. As always, Attorney Ryan McGuigan, we love your expertise and insight. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.